Sunset Park, historically has been an immigrant community. Puerto Ricans started coming here in the 1940s, and a lot of the people that were here back then and who continue to be here have been fighting in this community to better the neighborhood and also to continue to survive and be here and stay here. We're a part of this neighborhood. We've given blood, sweat, and tears in a sense. So there's about 3 million people that come together in Manhattan to the Puerto Rican Day Parade that ends at 4 o'clock. And at 4 p.m. on this Sunday, where do you think these millions of people go? A lot of people return back to their communities and continue to celebrate. So Sunset Park, just like other Puerto Rican communities here in New York, our community just gathers, they fill up the streets, they continue to celebrate. It's not unique that in Sunset Park and other neighborhoods like it, that the police aggressively have a history of confronting these parade goers, these crowds.
Move back! I'm giving you an order, get back! Move out of my corner!
No, let's go!
Move out of my corner!
Back in 2003, we started calling out for people to group up after the Puerto Rican Day Parade, specifically on this corner, to document police abuse. Year after year, cops came at it with the same formula. Flood the neighborhood with cops from various precincts, create barricades, and push people off the corner because they wanted to clear the neighborhood. For us, video was the way in which we were able to collect evidence of how that looked like. And we witnessed young people like Enrique del Rosario, who he himself was filming the police. But he saw and was witnessing, what the cops were doing, and he decided to get himself involved. We followed him and we saw how the cops picked him off and pulled him out from a crowd with his friends, stole his camera from him, cracked his head open with a nightstick. I've seen cops continue to escalate incident after incident and the same police officers repeat the same behavior. I believe it's because it's being unchecked. There's no real discipline. They can walk away unchecked. We're not a blemish on their record. We never know what the record is because that information is never made public. So that lack of accountability and transparency doesn't create for us that, that trust. It breaks that apart, in fact. The problem is not unique in Sunset Park. We see the same thing, now with the use of cell phone video and social media, that people in other communities like Sunset Park are documenting these same experiences with cops. That the problems are systemic, that it's not, this one precinct and just a few bad apples. And poor communities are the ones that are disproportionately, black and brown communities and young people are disproportionately targeted by cops. And I think it's important to, connect the dots where we see incident after incident happen and get unchecked, where, there's a pattern to this. El Grito is a community response to these local injustices. It is a way to, to be active and not quiet. We held the cops accountable with our cameras. That made the police fall in line the way they should, where it was community control over the police. When people saw that, that empowered the neighborhood, that empowered the local residents to use cameras to videotape the police, to come out and bring their instruments and play music here, and that, this is our community. And this is what a community does to reclaim its spaces, to exercise its rights, and to demand respect. Since this parade began, and since our movement began in Sunset Park, it helped save lives. Where people were hurt, where people were going to jail, where people were being sent to the hospital by the police, now, for the last couple of years, for now going on to its 4th year, there's been a change in how the police have to respond to this. That we brought about that attention, that the community created that change and the police had to respond.